welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We've got Sid Lowe, Alejandro Moreno, and Stevie Nicol also with us. And we've got your questions too, so let's get to them, shall we? First in, Commissi Commissar says, is Messi finally a proven leader by reducing his salary like other great leaders who have done the same for their teams, like Tom Brady? What do you reckon, Stevie?
100%. I guess it's a little easier when you've probably got about 300 million in the bank already. that takes the sting out of it, shall we say. But yeah, absolutely. It shows his commitment to Barcelona. And so, yes, it's nice to see.
Are these the things that make you a proven leader?
Well, it's certainly when you walk through that locker room and say, hey, let me tell you something. I left 50% of my salary on the table for you guys. So, yeah, I think direct or indirectly, those guys know that he has taken the full-on hometown discount.
All right, next up for you, Sid. Mohamed Shakil says, Sid, if Varane leaves, will Real Madrid sign a centre-back or Nacho Militao will play alongside Alaba?
Nacho, Militao, Alaba, the return of Vallejo from his loan period at Granada. I think Real Madrid would look for a signing, but I think they would only do so if they can find what they would consider to be very good value in the market. Because, you know, there's been a huge amount of talk about Barcelona's financial difficulties. Real Madrid have managed the pandemic far better. They've actually made a profit last year, albeit a very small profit, less than €1 million. But they know that what they have in terms of the ability to go and spend is very, very limited indeed. They lost around about €300 million off their budget last year. They have, I think it's €144 million effectively in the bank. But this isn't a club that's just going to go out and spend. And actually, if you look back over the last couple of years, that's been the case for a while now. So I think the answer is that if the Varane goes, they would only replace him if the alternative is relatively cheap.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting situation. The back line at Real Madrid.
That back line, hey, if that's Vallejo, Alaba, Nacho, Militao, ooh.
Aye.
Ooh.
Ooh, he says. Oh, speaking of ooh, Ezio says, Kay, what was the atmosphere in your home for the finals? Just to let you know, I have an Italian husband and obviously I'm English. So we went to the pub, we got a babysitter. I took him to an all-English pub pretty much, and that was okay.
Did he have a choice in that? Or
He didn't have a choice. And then we went to extra time, so we extended the babysitter, and then we had to get back, so we sat on our driveway while the penalty shootout happened.
Listening on the radio?
No.
Listening, watching on our phone.
No.
And that close to one another. And do you know what it really annoyed me the most? He did the Ronaldo "Shoo" when they won.
Why?
What did he do?
Exactly.
Divorce.
To
Divorce
be
now.
honest, I've not spoken to him since Sid.
Yeah, well, good decision.
And I think it is a good decision. I'm much happier, to be honest, right now.
Actually, you should ask yourself, why did you speak to him in the first place, okay?
It was the perfect excuse to not speak to him anymore.
What was that noise you made?
The Cristiano Ronaldo "Shoo."
Shoo.
Yeah,
How does he say that when he gives it like that? I didn't know that.
that's what he says.
I had no
I
idea.
tell you one more thing though. I always remember Sid Lowe, who came to our wedding, said that you could tell which side were the Italians and which side were the English. And I think he was being a bit rude to us, saying that they were all a lot more stylish than we were.
Yeah.
I love that you're not going there.
I'm not going there.
And see that Ali isn't either. So let's move on then, shall we? All right.
Why is he saying "you" if Ronaldo's Portuguese? So what is the
I think
connection
that,
with Italy?
From somewhere, he just found that the way to celebrate.
Now, could you not have extended the babysitter for another 30 minutes?
Maybe.
And that way he would not have done any "you" in an English pub.
You're correct.
I'm just saying you keep him in a hostile environment.
Yeah.
That way you control him.
Yeah, that way he just sits quietly, snickering to himself.
Well, I'll be sitting quietly because he's going to get the silent treatment for a bit longer. All right, Citron One says, Sid, how much blowback will Perez get if he lets both Varane and Ramos go in one summer, especially since he chose not to re-sign Ramos for 1 year?
Yeah, I think there will be criticism. I think the kind of the really powerful criticism won't come until they start playing, and if things go wrong, I think people will wait and see a little bit on Alaba. But also there's a reality, and I think most people recognise that, and that reality is, of course, is that Varane's allowed his contract to go into the final year, partly because he wants to walk away. And so Real Madrid are now not in a position to kind of throw money at him. So I think if he was to go, I think most people would recognise that it was a reaction to a kind of contractual situation that they couldn't avoid, and so you're better off selling him now and getting some money for him than him walking away for free in a year's time. But there's no doubt at all that if the results went against them, yes, of course there would be criticism.
Oh, more criticism for Perez, just when he needs it right now. Ezio's back in, Ale, and says, last 4 World Cup winners were European teams. Did this Copa America give you any hope that the next one can be reclaimed by South America?
When you look at potential contenders from South America, it's very simple. It's Argentina and Brazil. Those two made it to the final, and both showed that there is promise for the future, but there are also flaws that they have to address if indeed they are going to be serious contenders in the World Cup. If they go on a run, Brazil can win it. If they go on a run, Argentina can win it. Did it give me any more hope? Not more than what I had going into the tournament.
So no, Zeus.
No, and I would never say
Do you know
that.
what?
It's annoying, that, isn't
you
it?
know what? That I think I'm being unfair to him, and I think I'm like remembering it badly because it was a bad moment. I think it might have just been a say,
Okay.
you know, which is still just as bad.
Look,
Either
I
way-
don't think
either way
I
is
don't think-
annoying.
see,
It's
I don't
really
think
annoying.
You should be giving him an excuse now. Don't give him an out. He's in trouble. Now take advantage of it. Now he knows that he's gonna have to come crawling back with, kind of like, hey babe, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. Use it to your advantage.
Yes.
You can extend this.
Definitely.
You know
Oh,
how
yes.
you know how you didn't extend the babysitter? You can extend this for a week. You can really pull at that string and let him just suffer and drown. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what he gets for Italy winning. All right, Sid, Safi Sumbal says, do you think Jorginho has a chance of winning the Ballon d'Or? He's already won the Champions League and UEFA Euros. If he wins the Super Cup next month, he'll have 3 trophies this year. He was Chelsea's top scorer and a key player for Italy in the European Championships. I'm glad this has been put to you, Sid, and not to Craig Burley.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a pretty good candidacy, and when we look at what players have done over a season, it's a very strong candidacy to be able to say that you're a double European champion, that you're a vital part of both of those teams. I wonder if maybe in terms of the way that some of the voters vote, because we should never forget something. The Ballon d'Or is voted for, so when people ask for my opinion or someone else's opinion, what matters is the culmination of opinions, and lots of people vote for all sorts of different reasons, and sometimes their votes are stupid. There's no two ways about that. So we're discussing how this could go. I wonder if him having missed the penalty in the shootout in the final would lose him some votes. I must admit, I had this conversation with Cesar Azpilicueta before the semi-final, and I said to him, how about it then, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ballon d'Or winner? And he just laughed at me and said, don't be so stupid. And I said, well, look, in all seriousness, you've got a hell of a candidacy if Spain go on and win this. And of course, he was the one that pointed out that, well, actually, the other candidate, how about Jorginho, who's in exactly the same position? So I suppose in that sense he's a candidate, but I must admit, this year, I don't see how anyone other than Leo Messi wins it. And that's, by the way, despite the fact that Barcelona had a poor season in La Liga and a poor season in the Champions League, but Messi finally winning that Copa America, and just the level of his performances, as has been the case for 15 years, I think he's the favourite, and I find it difficult to imagine anyone else winning it.
Jorginho? Come on.
Lewandowski?
Yep.
Over Messi?
I mean,
Over Jorginho, I'll tell you that.
I mean, so this is voted on over a 12-month period that kind of entails 2 seasons, that?
Is that the 2 seasons?
Well, yeah,
That's the
'cause often-
that's the 2 seasons, right? I'm balancing
Like a
both
seesaw.
seasons. That's what I'm doing, balancing them up. So
Well, what Steve's doing there, by the way, I think there is a point here, by the way, which is it's not just balancing over 2 seasons, Steve. And I think normally I would throw that argument out, but I think this time there might be something in it, because of course last season was a season when Lewandowski 100% should have won the Ballon d'Or, and they decided not to do it. So I wonder if there will be some voters that will be thinking that they will be thinking that this isn't just an award for this season, it's also an award for that guy who really should have won it last year and we took it off him. And so I think there will be quite a lot of carryover voters for Lewandowski. Definitely.
Whatever happened, by the way, the conversation about N'Golo Kante at one point, and now we're saying Jorginho, the guy who plays alongside him in Chelsea, is more deserving than N'Golo Kante.
Well, no, the guy asking the question is.
Well, because Italy won the Euros.
Yeah,
fair,
but
guy
I think it also points to those who say, well, if you've won this and you've won this, to the people who say it's what you've won, why shouldn't it be that person?
So here's the question, right? In my opinion, it should be Lewandowski, unless somebody can tell me that had Messi played with Poland, they would have won the Euros.
Wow, that's
I'm not
that's
sure
quite
if
a
anyone's going to
connection.
be. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find the person to tell you that.
If we can turn around and say, well, by the way, Poland would have won the Euros if Messi had played for them, then you'd have to give it to Messi, right?
What is the connection between Messi and Warsaw?
Oh, because Messi's playing with Argentina, who, as you said, there's only two teams. You said earlier, there's only two teams you think can win the World Cup over a European team, and that's Argentina and Brazil.
Yeah.
Whereas Poland ain't ever winning anything, right?
I think Messi was feeling like that for a good few years with Argentina.
So for Lewandowski to be hampered because he's Polish, I mean that in the nicest possible way, by the way. Hampered.
Yeah, because of the national team that's around him. So
if you can turn around and honestly say to me, if Messi had been Polish, he would have taken Poland to European Championships, then I would say Messi.
But
he wouldn't.
Because he didn't,
So it's still Lewandowski.
All right. So what if they just give two out, one for each year?
Okay, that's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
No.
Messi then?
I would say Lewandowski. That's the direction I would go.
What part of anything he said suggested Messi?
I was just trying to get him to say Messi.
I'm going to say Lewandowski.
So you're saying Messi?
I think it'd probably be Messi.
Right,
No, because everybody wanted it to be Robert Lewandowski so much last year. I don't know.
Which is actually, if indeed they're voting based upon what they did last year, then it's all gone.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm going to say Lewandowski just because I think he deserves it.
Well, we'll definitely find out who it will be. Anyway, lastly, Kartik says, would the guys have loved to be managed by an agent like Mino Raiola?
Yeah, because we wouldn't be sitting here. I'll tell you that.
See, here's the thing, right? Does Raiola get players 30 and 40 million more than other agents? Is that why he's so good?
Well, he gets them the moves, so he gets a lot of money in. Maybe he's getting them the moves that they wouldn't get, which in turn will get them the money.
Right.
So would you like to have been managed by him?
Well, if he gets you more dough, then yeah.
But then you'd have to move the clubs. Like, you'd have to move clubs more and more.
That's quite all right.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. You don't have to move
Well, you
clubs.
don't have to, but we do often see that with many of his clients.
Yeah, but that's the client's fault, letting them bully him.
Oh.
So if he was your agent, oh, by the way, Kate, I could do with another 20 million. So what I'm going to do is get you a move to so-and-so. And you're going to go, oh, yeah, that's fine, on you go.
Well, no, because then I don't get to work with you and LA anymore and Sid.
Well, I can understand that.
So that in that sense, I would take the pay cut.
I wouldn't recommend that, Kay.
like a true good leader. Anyway, that's all we've got time for on the latest edition of Extra Time. So join us tomorrow.
Stop doing that.
ESPN FC is available daily
Make 'em beg.
on
Yep.
ESPN Plus.
Make them feel the pain, Kay.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.